Did you know teachers aren't humans? They're not allowed to show stress or age, have health problems, show fear, waste time, and most of all, fail. They're not even allowed to go to the bathroom. But that's okay, because we're here to talk about how we're all just playing a role. And at 3 o'clock, we get to be us again. 40 years ago, two 8-year-old boys were bored out of their minds in school, and they vowed one day they would do something about it. They did it to honor their friends. They did it to honor their classmates. They did it for the love of learning. I'm Matt, and this is Rob, and 40 years later, we get our turn, but now we're playing teacher.
Recording in progress.
Okay, welcome to Playing Teacher. I'm Matthew Cade. This is Mr. Rob Monahan along with Brugge. And hang on, I just shut off my Zoom. I don't know what the hell did I do.
We still
Well,
hear
you're
that.
still here.
We still see you and we still hear you.
Yeah.
Hang on, I don't know.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah.
Do
Oh,
I
wait,
look
I'm
like
back. Sorry, I hit a button. I told you I can't hit, and you put buttons by me, it's a disaster. I hit the wrong button. Everybody was gone for a second. Go ahead, Brooke. Sorry.
Nothing. Is this annoying? This light?
Yeah, why are you coming in? You're like a spirit.
Yeah, it's like I think
What's going on there?
it's like she has a
This-
spotlight on herself. She's like she wants to be
It
the
reminds me of,
star.
it reminds me of like the
Or-
scene, like Back to the Future when the photo they start to
Yeah,
disappear from the
yeah.
photo.
She's
Yeah.
disappeared. Yes. Like
Yeah.
Or I'm an angel. It looks like a
yeah.
halo.
Well, yeah, it's not that.
Yeah.
So
Shut up. I'm turning it off. Oh.
They usually say you're changing. And I was like, let's just
No.
close it off.
No.
This is on YouTube.
what's that sweatshirt? South Side.
I'm going to take it off soon because it was
Yeah, South
freezing. It's freezing up here, but now I'm sweating.
Wait,
so
South
I love
Side
the
of
South
side.
what?
I'm on the
High
south side of
school.
Brooklyn.
Southside High School. Hold on one second.
Oh. Your high school was called
Brittany, when I
South
said
Side High
you-
School?
Yeah, when I said change, you actually didn't have to go change.
I had to take it off. I had to
Wait.
take it off.
Let's all
Let's just all just go take off our shirts in the middle of the podcast and come back.
let's all say the name. Let's all say the name of our high school. Brugge, you go first.
Okay.
My kids' high school, Southside High School. Southside High School.
Oh, what about yours? Where you went?
Yeah, he's talking about your high school.
Oh, I went to Mepham WC. Wait, WC? WC?
I don't know. It's your high school.
Yeah, you spent 4 years there. So
WC Mepham High School.
Mepham?
Mepham.
Okay. Interesting. Matt?
WC Mepham.
I went to Edward R. Murrow High School.
Mm,
Where is that? Brooklyn?
Yeah, Midwood.
Cathedral Prep Seminary.
Oh, Jesus
Wow.
Christ. Jesus Christ, literally.
Yeah. See, like I don't know. So let's just really quickly, if you're in New York, I don't know, Matt, if you experienced this, but when you're in 8th grade, for at least where I was, you apply to high school, like kids apply to college. And so like you can put out a general application for public schools, you can apply to private schools, and then you can apply to like the specialized public schools, which are Stuyvesant, Bronx Science, and Brooklyn Tech. Right.
Right. And you do that for middle school also back in the day.
Yeah, you could do it for middle school too.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I applied. I got into Brooklyn Tech, and then I put 3 choices down for private schools. The first was Malloy, the second was St. Francis or something, and the third was Cathedral Prep Seminary. And I got a full scholarship to Cathedral. And even though all my friends went to Malloy and St. Francis and all these like Holy Cross, I went to Cathedral. I didn't know anyone. It was like I had like 50 kids in my class. So, and then I lost that scholarship halfway through because I had my first girlfriend like at the end of sophomore year. So I failed everything. I lost the scholarship anyway.
Well, you had a good time.
I
I
had a
have
good
a,
time.
I
Is
have a,
that what
his-
you said,
I
Maddie?
have I have a history of completely dropping everything. Like when I have a girlfriend, like everything else goes out the window. I don't care. Like I fail all my classes, you know.
That's crazy. Yeah, you got into Albany. You got into SUNY Albany.
Yeah. And then
So,
the same thing happened when I met Carlene. I failed all my classes up at Albany. And then I turned it around so that I could stay up there. Otherwise, I'd have to like drop out and come home.
well, yeah, and then you'd have to leave her.
Yeah,
So that's
right.
why,
That
yeah,
was my inspiration.
you were motivated by girls.
I did better when I had like when I was with Cindy because well mostly because she would take my notes in class when we met in college. I was a horrible note taker.
I did better when I started dating Jeff also. I
Yeah.
felt like I yeah, second half of high school, I did much better because of him. Aw,
All right, Maddie.
shout out.
Actually, does anyone have anything before we introduce the topic?
No, it's like shitty out here.
Yeah, we were talking just about how bad the
All
weather
right.
is. And but you know, it's just the weather, you know, it's gonna pass.
Yeah, with
But
Hurricane Erin.
yeah. Well, yeah, actually, Rob, I was asking, so how's the weather by you?
Great. It's totally fine. I mean, I think hurricane usually hits on the coast. I'm like three
Right.
hours in from the coast. So, right, like it's not any like right now, nothing. It's just nice out, you know.
Yeah. I think they
Warm.
closed the beaches in New York.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. And
All of our cabanas are flooded.
yeah. But it's just it's not like raining hard here. It's just raining. You know, we cold. Whatever. We're hanging out at home.
All
So,
right, so what's our topic?
All right,
Because I
so
don't have no idea.
I don't know. We put everybody to sleep the last 2 minutes. So,
yeah.
if you're still tuning in, our topic today is going to be your personal physical health and mental health as a public school teacher.
Mm.
Okay.
And you know, we I think combined we have about 60 years experience. So we definitely know about when you work this job for many, many years, it's so important, to keep your physical health going. And I have a history of my weight just fluctuating where I just watch it go up. I would watch it for years, just slowly go up over the year, and then by the summer, like it would just slowly go down, and then I would lose the weight. It was a horrible habit. I just knew I was going to gain 20 pounds. Then by the summer, I was going to lose 20 pounds. It was just, I should have had a better habit during the years of keeping it off. There were certain, I guess certain periods I worked harder at it. And when I met Rob, I was sort of stuck at the same weight for a while. And he helped me originally just lose a certain amount of weight. And I remember us, one of the first things we did together was you taught me about food. And I remember just
Mhm.
asking, like, do you know why I just keep gaining? And he's like, yeah. And he just said, yeah. I was like, is it because of what I'm eating? I was like, yeah. Yeah, like, so like, and then he was just like, he just knew the answers. He was like, and he said like, write down everything you ate like the last couple of days, and I did. And he's like, and he would just explain everything that I'm eating during work, what I'm eating, and how I was eating it and everything. It started to open my mind. So a lot of it is, teachers probably eat certain things because of time crunch,
Yeah.
snacks they eat, the schedule, but so much goes, a lot of it's stress too, Sometimes you just like you had such the worst period and it makes you so happy to cross the street and grab a slice of greasy pizza, right? Because it might just make you feel better, I
Or a
knew teachers that
bagel.
would have like a bunch, a sugary drink, or, they would just drink too much coffee or whatever they had to do just to get through the day. And these little things they probably might not even realize just make them
Yeah.
feel better.
Some
Um,
people, some people would get a slice of pizza and then they would take all the cheese off and have a big giant mound of cheese and they would eat the pizza.
yeah, I knew someone who used to do that. Yeah,
But
as
it's
well.
like Matt, this is building off what you said. Like when Brugge would take all the cheese off for pizza, I would take
Yeah.
all that cheese and eat it. You know what I
He
mean?
would eat it.
It's
You
You
and
would
like,
eat the
Gloria
cheese.
would
Yeah.
eat the cheese.
yeah, man. So it was
I
like,
had the
yeah.
I had the
That's why you guys are
opposite, Matt.
friends, what?
Maddie, I had the opposite. Like when I first started, I ended up losing a ton of weight just
Ah,
because of my anxiety and working that building. I I was like emaciated. I mean, now like 18 years later, I've definitely like I've gained a lot of weight since then, and I feel better. I mean, I should lose a couple of pounds, but I feel actually better,
Yeah.
like mental health wise. But I was really sick when I was working there, like in the beginning. Lost so much weight. It was gross.
No, I never.
Actually,
No, I never had
and
that problem of
honestly,
losing. I would just gain
and
no
then
matter what I
people would
did.
make comments, and people would make comments to me about my weight, which I thought was like really interesting.
There's a
They would
few
make,
people that we worked with to just would say it openly. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I've
like you're
got it
too
as a guy.
skinny.
Well, I got it as a guy. Like, just to do, to be like, like, yeah, I remember, I think my later years, somebody said to me, like, like, you and me, we got the same problem or something like that. I was like, I got a problem. I was like, oh, we got to do something, right? I was like, dude, like, thanks a lot. I thought I was doing all right. I was like, what the
Yeah.
hell?
But I
Set it up,
remember,
this day sucks. I got four in a row, but now you just told me I'm fat on top of everything else, and I got to get through the day.
I remember, and Matt, even though we had different situations where like I was losing, you were gaining, we both went to Rob for help. Like I remember
Yeah. Yeah.
diagrams he
Well,
used to make for me.
now I'm on a health kick. I have to drop a lot. So the last 3 weeks I dropped 15 pounds, right? And so I'm on like the next 2 or 3 months I want to drop 40, right? So I drop 15 in about 3 weeks, something like that, right? But I did call Rob right away. I said, this is what I'm going to eat, and we talked the diets and like what I had. This is what I'm going to do now. Always would run it by him, but one of the things he gave me was for walking or jogging, the weighted vest. And I bought that right away. I bought a 20-pound one. So I've been, so I have that, so little new things, and he sent me research on it. So he's like my guy. Anything fitness, I call Rob, or anything I'm doing.
Are you doing the short spine? Remember you
No,
guys like
no,
did something, I think that's what
I'm
it's
I'm
called, right?
doing, and I sent it. I don't know exactly what it's called, but because I'm sort of adjusting it a little bit. But I'm do basically this is how I'm eating right now. I'm only eating meat, fish, chicken, eggs are my main sources of protein, and then for fiber and things like that, I'm just having fruits and vegetables, just drinking water and coffee. I'm keeping black and no alcohol. Cut out alcohol. Stop drinking. So that's basically what I'm doing. When I get to that, up until I reach that point, and then I'll adjust it, I guess, if I need to, if I want to add a
So,
few,
all
a
right, but
few.
like
So no
let's
grains or anything like that. Go ahead.
well that's great that you're doing that now, but when we were in school, like how did you said that you would go over the summer, you would lose a little bit and then you would go back to school and then you
Yeah,
would
I didn't do
gain.
that. Yeah.
Well, no. I know, but what I'm saying is when you were in school and you were gaining the weight,
Mhm.
um, was it every year you were gaining more and more, or
No,
were
it was
you
like I
like
would gain
leveling,
it during
re-leveled
the
out?
year, and then I would lose it in the summer. So I would gain it, and then I would lose it back during the summer. And it was almost the same amount up until probably the last few years. I didn't lose enough back over the summer. So it slowed
Right.
down as I got older, as I was, as I've been, closing in on 50, I'm 49 now, so it gets harder. And I realized if I didn't drop it now, I was at that point where it's just going to get harder and harder. So I'm just making a choice to get to a certain way now and then sort of keep at it. So I
Well,
don't, this is the most amount probably I needed to drop.
To lose. Yeah.
Yeah.
one thing, what Brugge said, Brugge mentioned Schwarzbein before. So for people
Yeah.
listening, like this is something Matt and I both did, like back in
Yeah.
the day. So Schwarzbein, she is a doctor and she's an endocrinologist. She wrote a book. And so,
Schwarzbein principle. Yeah.
yeah, and basically like in that book, like that we didn't really follow exactly what the book said, but essentially it's like you're balancing your hormones by eating certain amounts of certain foods every, during the day. So basically like our we had like four rules basically. One rule was, you know, you have to leave 3 hours in between feedings, like in between eating. So if you eat at 7 a.m., you can't eat again until 10 a.m., right? And then the second rule was you can, during those feedings, you can't eat In the book, I think it's 15 grams, but we did 20 grams. You can't eat more than 20 grams of carbs, net carbs in a
Well,
feeding.
in the first 30 days, it was like the healing program. And
Yeah.
you're basically, you were doing, I think you were doing 15 and 8. It was like 15 carbs during that, and then 8 carbs for the snack.
Yeah. And like you did that. Like I was in maintenance already, so I just did 20
Yeah.
grams every
Maintenance
meal.
is like after,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, but I remember you introduced it to me and
Yeah.
you kind of
Yep.
coached me through the beginning part of it, the 30 days. And that's when I dropped. Like Rob and I have an interesting relationship because we'll really discuss our flaws. I'll leave it out for the viewers. And guys don't usually talk about these things, like like things on their body like their physiques and stuff. You're like what are you not proud of? We openly
Yeah.
discussed it. We had that kind of trust level, like where we just like it was just you and me. We're just gonna get into this, and so the diet helped and working out helped and things like that. Where if you really get into it, there has to be a trust level, and that's part of our relationship was just that level of just
Yeah.
this is between us. We're just well now I'm talking about it openly to everybody in the world, but I'm not getting specifics. But
But it was hard. It was hard though. Like at that time where we were, like in Queens, there wasn't a lot. Now there's a lot. There wasn't a lot out there. So like there was like 7-Eleven, there was
oh
Subway,
God,
other fast food, there was diner, there was pizza. Do you remember any of
I
the staples though? Do you remember any of
Yo,
the
Rob, you
things?
know what we did when you first introduced me to diet? You took me to this little corner, like Spanish place, right? They had like
Yeah.
little tacos and stuff, and we got tacos, and then like we went back and we took out the chicken and we ate like one like you said, like just eat one of the wraps, like because that's going to be like
Yeah.
15 carbs. And then I ate the chicken. You like see me basically you were eating with me and showing me how to do this. I was like, no, I would just eat the whole thing. I was like, no, that's going to be like 45 carbs. And I was like, I'm you hungry? You're like, no, just have one of them,
It's
just one. So then I got used to then seeing in the plate, just well, what about all this extra bread? Like, well, we don't eat that. We just throw that out. I'm looking at all these great delicious wraps with the, you
funny,
know,
funny story building on that, Matt. It's, you guys both know Dennis, my cousin.
yeah.
So Dennis, when he
Yeah.
went to college, he gained a lot of weight, like muscle. He was huge. He was like 280 pounds. He was like a big bouncer, like a football player. So when he came back to the city, he wanted to lose weight because his knees were bad. And so we started training together and I started doing the same sort of thing with him. But this was before Schwarzbein. This is just like, and so we had rules. And one of the rules was we would go out to eat together and he would eat so fast. So one of the rules was he can only take a bite when I take a bite. And I'm like a chronic chewer. Like I chew every bite like 45 times. Like I can't swallow food unless it's completely mush. So he would, we'd be eating, let's say we're sitting across from each other eating a burger or something. He takes a bite, he swallows it in 1.1 seconds, and then he's just staring at me like
Mhm.
chewing and chewing and chewing, and he's like just waiting to take his next bite. It was like torture. You know what I mean? So it was like that just reminded me of that.
That's
Do
interesting.
you remember the
Like, so
mission
are you
wraps?
savoring it? Why aren't you?
No, I'm just
This sounds
that's how I
awful.
eat.
Why aren't you swallowing?
I just eat
Like,
slow. No, I like
oh, okay.
I can't
Oh, we
bring
just can't.
myself to swallow food that's
Okay.
not chewed. Like some people like just swallow like whole
Yeah, I'm
food. I don't
like,
understand that.
I'm, I'm an animal. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I just like,
I am too.
it
I
doesn't
like,
stay too
I'm
long.
not tasting it. My friend Roxana, she'll eat food to taste it, and she takes a very, very long time to eat her food. And so
What?
we're all
Yeah.
finished. It's like you, Rob. We're all
No,
finished and like
mine's
waiting.
texture. It's not. I'm not trying to. I can't physically swallow food
Oh,
that's not like
yeah.
uh, chewed to a like
So
I
you
mean
you would never
Yeah.
be one of those
No.
teachers that has like 5 minutes and you're going to eat a whole thing in 5 minutes. Like because you have to, so you'd
no.
have just a little bit then.
But
I've
that
had whole lunches where like I have to do this,
yeah.
and it's probably so unhealthy. And then I see on my lunch, I'm so hungry, and I'll eat the whole thing right before the kids come, and I'll just like, like, all right, and they come in. Probably the worst thing for your digestion, but that's the reality sometimes.
Yeah. Something else that we had though, in addition to the diet, well, first of all, we had the Vitamix. We used to make shakes all the time. But
Yes,
also
we
something
had a
else we had
blender.
though, yeah. Also something else we had though was just the ability to like we would exercise. It's like so we
Yeah.
had a chin up bar and we
Uh-huh.
would see who can hang the longest from the chin up bar and we would do chin ups. We would have push up
Yep.
bars.
It was a great thing to have. Yeah. Actually, I want to show.
Did
Wait.
I give you that? Did I give you that chin-up
Yes.
bar?
Ah yes, Brugge
I
actually did
did.
that
Wait, I
one
want to
that
show
we
you something. Hang on a second. Well, you guys talk for a second. I want to bring something over.
yeah, that yes
I
you did.
did.
You
That
and
was
then
from my brother's
and
room.
then
My brother Colin.
actually used a screw gun. I screwed it into the doorway, into the
Did you
whatever.
guys ever hang like from your feet from that thing and do sit up? Like I
Um,
don't even know what that's called. What would that be
we
called?
we might have because I could swear that I brought in gravity boots once, which is
Bro,
like
now
Gravity.
I never bought these. I never remember buying these. I think these were ours from the
that's
lab.
yeah, that's them. That's what I was just talking about. We had push-up bars.
These are our
Yeah.
original
Yep.
20-year-old push-up bars that I have now.
That's right.
I think when you left, you just gave it to me.
Yeah,
And,
we left everything.
eventually I just took it home.
Time out. Did you just throw them across the room? Did you just throw
No,
them?
they're right next to me.
Oh, I saw you go like this.
No, I just put them down next to me. I'm in the basement. Those are the originals. I never remember buying. I never remember. So it had to be when we were just using them in the lab 20 years ago.
Yeah, it was funny, man. Like we would, so we had the chin-up bar, we had the push-up bars, and then of course, like you and I would play Super Pong so hard that we'd be
Yeah.
sweating. Like we would be. It
We
was
mentioned Super Pong quite a bit, so I'm assuming
yeah.
our listeners are familiar with the game.
Tell
Um,
tell us
yeah.
about the
So
third floor sprint.
oh yeah, the third floor sprint. You introduced me to sprinting. You were big on the concept of just for working out, just adding in a few sprints, just running as fast as you can, just for maybe like I don't know about 30 seconds or so, or maybe a minute. So I was like, well, I want to do this. I don't want to. By the time I get off work, I just want to go home. So I started to work out. I wanted to work out in the morning. So we had push-ups, we had chin-ups at work, so I just wanted to do a couple sprints. So there was nobody, in the hallway. The kids weren't there yet on the third floor where I was, the floor that I was on. So I started to just jet down the hall as fast as I can because it's like a nice long narrow hallway, and I would just run as fast as I can, at 7 o'clock in the morning down the hallway, and I started to call it the third floor sprint. But then I just started to announce if anybody wants to join me. This is what I'm doing. I'm trying to get into shape, and every morning I'm starting to get the school going. Like we'll do a sprint together. No, everyone's like you're crazy. So I'm just jetting down everyone's hall. I did that all year. So I started to just chant out third floor sprint, third floor sprint.
Yeah,
Oh,
so no, you
Don't
wouldn't crash into anybody, and then
right.
all of a sudden I would hear
Well,
it, and
that
then
and
I would
also I'm like
see you.
just announcing it in case trying to, get over the third floor sprint, get people see who wants to join me. But no,
you know what I forgot?
I think it further ostracized me and worked the opposite way where I'm just
People like stay away from
strange
Matt.
guys running down the hall and yeah, it's
I totally forgot something. There was a gym that was like down the block from the school. It was
yeah,
Oh
I joined that for a
yeah.
little yeah, I
and
joined that for different
yeah,
times I was a member there.
yeah,
Yeah.
I joined that gym too. And I remember I used to go there sometimes at lunch, sometimes after school.
We went there together a
Yes.
couple of times,
Yes.
And there are
especially
still
early on.
many staff members that work at that school that still go to that gym.
Is it still there, the gym?
Yeah,
Oh,
they
Yeah, I
wow.
was
they
talking
get
to
there at like
Pat.
6:30 in the morning, and then they're there for an hour, and then they come into school around 7:30.
There's a para friend, I think, of mine that goes now. Um, yeah, I actually saw him recently. He said, came to my play. He said he works out there. I was like, yeah, we'll talk about it. It's a good gym.
I would say that I was the first one in the school to join there, but I think Hansei was actually the first.
Yeah. Oh man.
It wasn't Bridget?
Bridget?
Yeah, was it Bridget?
No, back then?
No? Yeah,
No.
I don't know. No.
Let's
Okay.
say this
She, I
like
mean,
this.
Because I was like,
she may have
she's
joined it
still
at some
there.
she may have joined it at
She's
some point, but I joined that gym like right when it opened, like back in the
okay.
back in the day, like way back, you know?
Ansei's
So,
not
Yeah.
playing around when he goes there because that guy
no,
is
man,
like,
he's
that's
jacked.
like, yeah, that's Roman Reigns category there. He's a wrestler, if you know,
Oh, I was gonna say, who the
or if he's
hell
a
is
stand, yeah,
that?
you do,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
by the way, podcast shout out. This past weekend is a podcast with Theo Vaughn.
Yeah, I know who he
Yeah.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. He was like on the original like Road Rules or something. And so
Yeah.
yeah.
great,
I've
great
seen his
pod,
podcast.
great podcast. But Matt, there's an episode with Kevin Von Erich, and they
Oh,
talk
okay.
all about the family. You have to listen to it. It's really good.
All right, I'll check it out. Yeah, Kevin Von Erich is from a legendary wrestling family, and they had a movie out about their lives, and
It's called
his
like the
brothers
yeah.
all died, and from traumatic ways. And I mean, I don't want to get into their whole story, but it's a very, very sad story. But he's the last remaining Von Erich from that. But then he has children who are now involved in wrestling, and they've won tag team gold, which is really cool. So they're continuing, the Von Erich saga. Put a positive spin on their lives, which kind of had a pretty traumatic turn. The movie was out. That was called what's it called? I saw it.
The Iron Claw.
Iron Claw. That was a great movie.
So
You
I
see it,
have
Brooke?
no, she didn't see it.
Brooke,
I
you there?
mean, I know that Zac
Movie?
Efron.
Yeah, I was
You
gonna
know,
say she.
you, you know
Did you
what's
go
really
somewhere else
funny?
for a
Like
little while?
two things, two things. When you start talking about this shit, I'm zoned out. I'm like, ooh,
Yeah, but you
I
Yeah,
have
follow
no
it.
idea.
Like Zac
But
Efron.
but then we
but
were talking about a
as soon
movie.
as you said, like what it was about, I'm like, oh, Zac Efron,
Yeah.
the guy, and
Yeah,
then I was like, oh, the guy from The Bear.
yeah.
Oh,
Exactly. Oh, yeah, that's right. He played Carrie Von Erich. Yeah,
so I got a
yeah.
question for Brugge right after I'm gonna give you some examples. Two other things that I used to do at school for exercise were jump roping. I had a jump rope and then pogo stick. Pogo stick is shockingly hard. It's like
Yeah, you
trampolining. You
you
ever
you you were
trampoline?
really good. That's actually in our intro
Yeah.
video
Yes.
to the podcast. Is a shot of you doing some pogo
Yeah.
stick
I
action
think I
there.
still have Rob's pogo stick in my garage.
So my question,
It might
Brugge,
be,
was
yeah,
there anything that you would do at school for
yes,
exercise? Well,
yes,
tell us.
yeah. Kulig and I used to do squats.
That's right. You had like a squat challenge, right? Like it would be
Yeah, it was
like
like the
30 a
30
day or
day
100.
butt challenge.
Oh my God, I forgot
And
about that.
every day you increase the amount of squats you
That's
did. So like,
right.
yeah.
I do squats now. I wasn't into squats then, but now I do squats. Now I'd be in on it. Yeah.
I forgot about
Yeah.
that.
So
Oh
we
man.
did that. I'm trying to think what else we did. Nothing else. No, that was it. Just the squats.
Yeah.
So
I
what
remember
time would
the
you guys
yeah.
do that? Would it be before work? Like, or did you find a time in the middle of the day and just say, hey, you want to squat?
Could have been prep, especially if it was back to back prep lunch because you kind of have like 2 hours, and
Are
What
you
especially if
talking about
time?
me and Kulig? It was
Yeah,
for,
like when did
well,
you?
me and Kulig, it was whenever she had lunch. We would,
Oh, okay, so you would do it in the middle of the day, right?
yeah.
So you call her up and say, we want to do our squats now?
Yeah.
It's kind of like me and Rob. Yeah, okay. We're gonna do super pop. Well, no, I
yeah.
didn't see. I didn't realize teachers were then, other teachers. I guess around everybody had their own pattern, of like how they were gonna, keep in shape during the day. I think it's important because, during the day, you're there about 8 hours, so every day, and then usually a lot of them, would just kind of get in the car, and a lot of them live far away. So a lot of teachers, if they have a long commute, so then you go home, and then
Do
eventually
you?
if you have kids, it's kind of hard. So you kind of need
It is
that
hard.
time during the, unless you go before work, or but when sometimes you have even things after work. It's pretty tough to. I think that's where some of the pattern comes in, where you just get into really bad habits of just
Well,
just getting out
also
of
you had
shape.
mentioned like people eating across the street, grabbing a like
Yeah, like
oh my
me,
God, a
I've done it.
greasy
I
slice of
knew
pizza.
exactly
But
what I
I
was
was,
doing, but I did it anyway. Go
but
ahead.
I
Sorry.
was, but
Go ahead.
I was thinking about like a lot of teachers do pack their lunches.
Yeah.
But it's like I think about like when I packed my lunch, I would probably eat it before a certain time. And then by the time it was like 12 o'clock, I'm like, oh, I'm going to go out and grab like a coffee and a bagel.
Cindy,
Like
Yeah.
I was having
especially
two lunches.
especially the last few years, Cindy started to make my lunch, because I would just say, I don't have time. And so and it became a thing. And it just became a thing. She just, make my lunch. And I would have it for breakfast sometimes,
Hmm.
just because there was nothing better than sort of sitting there and then like, you're at your desk and then, hey, now there's food, and like, it's just great. It's there. So I didn't have in my head, like, well, I'm going to wait for this time. If I had a free moment and there was food there, I just ate it, I don't know, just
Well,
like,
I can remember us ordering off of the Tasties diner
Yeah.
menu, and
Yep.
there was like
yeah.
apple pie or cherry
Oh
pie
God.
and chocolate milkshake. I mean, I couldn't have the milkshake,
Sweet
but like
potato fries.
sweet potato fries, like it was just like, oh my
Well,
God,
that's
we
when I
had
started to
so
realize
much
how
crap.
bad I ate because I remember you guys were eating stuff. And I remember, and like I had pancakes. I ordered the pancakes, and we're sitting in Brugge's office, and I just had this big,
Pancakes.
huge thing of pancakes with syrup, and I'm just feeling like, kind of fat, and I'm just like, man, I gotta lose some weight. What am I doing wrong here? I'm just eating, eating these giant, diners. They give you these round,
Yeah.
like a silver dollar pancake in a diner is a regular sized pancake at home. So in
Yeah.
a diner, they give you like Uncle Buck pancakes. So I'm just
Yes.
sitting there eating the Uncle Buck pancakes. And I think Rob probably had a salad. I'm just like, what am I doing wrong?
Wait.
Like, how do I crack this code?
So here's a question, and I want specific. I don't want general. I want if you don't have a specific, then you don't have an answer.
All right.
What were things that you would get out at wherever you can, that were part of Schwarzbein that were healthy, like so
Yeah.
when you were on point, like what was it that you were eating? I know one of them I know a staple that we had, Matt. Like it's something that we bought and that we had in the office at all times, but I
Oh, I,
want to
I would make it. Yeah, I made you egg salad. Do you remember
yeah.
my egg salad? I made it with
Yeah.
hummus.
Yep.
I made it with hummus. I put hot sauce in it. Hummus was the substitute for mayonnaise.
Yep.
And then
That
I'd get a
sounds
bunch,
disgusting.
I would get a bunch of
Eggs,
hard-boiled eggs
hummus,
at
and what
Can
other
I
Is
thing?
finish it? Can I
it,
finish it before
it,
you?
Ugh.
All right. So I
you,
would go to 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven had hard-boiled eggs,
it's
right?
getting better.
Right. So I'd get some hard-boiled eggs from 7-Eleven,
Yeah. This is
which
what I'm
was
talking
around the
about, by the
corner,
way.
right?
Yeah.
And I'd get some hummus. And then we had a fridge, so there was hot sauce. I put garlic in it,
Yeah.
onions,
Yeah.
and I would just chop this all up, mush it up, and
No.
it was like my specialty,
Yeah.
egg salad. And then I would give a batch to Rob. Rob loved it. Rob be
Yeah.
sitting there eating my egg
Yeah.
salad. At least you never tell me if you hate
No, it
it.
was
Like,
good. It
I
was
feel
really
like
good.
it's all the stuff you ate. So we
Yeah.
we we like both of the stuff. Like I like to think like these are the things like my father would eat. Like my
oh,
father just would. My father was very heavy, but he would just eat like, he would like eat all the things that are wrong, but then he eat everything in the world that's healthy as well. That was the problem. He just ate everything, but he
I mean,
really he liked to think he would
like
eat
a
what?
freaking that sounds like a freaking ulcer. Like you got
No.
like oh that sounds disgusting.
What, the eggs and the recipe?
The eggs,
It was delicious.
yeah, the eggs, the onions, the garlic,
All
the
right,
hot
Brugge,
sauce.
what do you got? What was
You
your
you don't eat garlic and
what,
onions?
what was
I didn't do Schwarzbein, so I have
what
no
No,
was
but in
idea.
your
I
general,
have no
you don't
idea.
do you eat hummus?
what was your health hack,
I do eat hummus.
Do
Brugge?
you eat onions?
So my health hack was
So we're moving past
I
this.
would
Okay.
bring in my health hack. Actually, I don't even know if it's a health hack. I don't know, but I have, and I forgot that I did this until my friend Priscilla. You guys know Priscilla. She actually sent me a video. She's like, "Do you remember when you used to do this? I would bring whole cucumbers
Yeah.
into the school, and I would peel them there, and then I would chop them, and I would dip them in hummus. That would be my like lunch. But then what's really unhealthy is I'd eat the entire thing of hummus. I'd kill it.
I remember, Rob, you were working on like the ultimate healthy brownie,
Yes.
and I was your guinea pig to try it out. Like you and I would sit there and you would just like watch me like with a notepad almost and just take and I
Ew.
would tell you like what's missing. And you wanted to know because I had a sweet tooth and I loved peanut
Yeah.
butter. I was a peanut butter guy. So
Yep.
What did you?
you wanted to know if it had the right amount. I think it was a peanut butter brownie, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It was.
And you
Yeah.
like wanted to know like what can I do? Like what is it there? Is it the exact amount of sweetness?
Yeah.
But because you're using other
Yeah, sweet.
ingredients
Did
to
you
Yeah,
get it to that level,
did you
So I
put
would be
like
like,
the black beans in it? Wasn't that like part of a
I
recipe for
might
like healthy
have.
I would
brownies?
give
I
you, and I think when it started to hit, I would tell you that's it. That's what you need. Yeah.
yeah.
Now you hit the sweet spot right there. It's
Yeah,
great.
no. Yeah, no. It was yeah, I was working on that for a while.
I think
There's
Rob,
also the yeah.
you were the one who started intermittent fasting like years ago.
Oh yeah.
You had created some sort of diagram. I remember talking about it, and then all of a sudden, everyone now I know is intermittent fasting.
Yeah. No,
I'm
I was
doing that
doing
now.
yeah.
I didn't mention that I'm doing that now with how I'm eating also. I'm throwing in the fast with what I'm eating now, so I'm doing a double. I pretty much just don't eat till like one, 12 or 1 o'clock, and I kind of stop at night. So it's that kind of thing. I'm not doing by the exact hours. I just realized, I don't have to eat until that time, so I get the fasting. But so Rob was doing that. Rob, you were doing that years ago?
Oh, I was doing
Yeah, like
yeah, no, I was doing
yeah.
before anyone ever heard of intermittent. Like I'm not saying I invented it, but like yeah, I
Yeah.
was doing it a long time ago. Like before it was the thing, you know. But Matt, remember mission wraps though?
Mission wraps.
They were the tortilla wraps that had like only 5 grams of carbs. And
Oh yeah,
we would use them for everything. We would like dip them in
yeah.
hummus. We would dip them,
Yes.
we'd
They were
put
like a
peanut butter
thick.
and jelly on
They were like
there.
a thick square, right?
Yeah, no, well, these were round. They were they still sell them. Mission, the brand is
Oh,
Mission
Okay.
mission. Yeah, yeah.
Carb
Yeah.
balance wraps.
Yeah, I know the carb balance ones. Yeah.
We would get
I
cold
had them.
cuts, you know.
Yeah. No, I think I got it, and I was upstairs, but I stopped when I decided like to cut out like bread for a while, even
Yeah,
though
yeah, yeah,
it's still the carb. I just because I'll eat too many of them, and so I
yeah.
just said I'm gonna completely cut it. But yeah, no, I would always have things like that. I just put peanut butter in it
So
or something like that.
the new school that I'm going to, it's not like our old school where there's pizza across the street or, Rudy's Bakery. Like there's nothing in the neighborhood. So I'm gonna have to make DoorDash it or make lunches every day,
If you wanted to
which is a
cheat,
good thing.
right, like and have something to be unhealthy at work, what would be your first, best thing to go get if you can get one
So many
where
things.
we worked?
Well, Rudy's was a big one for me. So going to
Yeah.
Rudy's and getting like cookies or chocolate or whatever, like or just a really sweet big coffee from like Dunkin' Donuts or something. Then
Yeah.
or fat. Are we saying fast food is included here?
Yeah.
Because Burger King was there,
Yeah.
I know what I would get. I would get
What was yours?
large mocha latte with a roasted bush sandwich from Milk and
Oh, the
Toll.
cream. Oh, yeah. That's the coffee place, the Roasted Bush. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like roasted bush. What?
Yeah. You've been there. I think you went there.
Oh, you guys took me there for lunch once because it wasn't
Yeah,
there
we
when
Yeah.
I
went to the
was
Roasted
there.
Bush. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what
Yeah.
they had some interesting things on the menu, right? They had some,
Yeah, they did.
yeah. What was some of the items on the menu, Brugge?
I have no idea. I just remember that specific one was like what it was like my go-to, but it was so unhealthy, along with like a giant mocha latte. I did not
Yeah.
need that.
Yeah.
I did not need to drink that.
The milkshakes from the diner was another one of mine. Like I get a chocolate milkshake with like the fries and with the whatever, the burger.
I started to go to that yogurt spot when I really had a bad day, and I would get like just you just get the peanut butter yogurt, which and then they just have brownies,
Oh, the
and you just put
toppings.
the toppings, and I would just put the peanut butter sauce on top of Reese's Pieces, and then put brownies in it, and I just take it back to my desk like I'm hiding like the greatest thing of all time. I just want to sit by myself and have this.
Precious, my precious.
Yeah, precious. So leave
Oh
me
my God.
alone. I'm in the corner. Um, um, more
Uh,
sweets. That's
oh,
what it felt like.
it's funny. You
Brugge,
just reminded
you
me.
were
Oh,
restricted though, like because you had like you would like if you weren't eating dairy, you weren't eating gluten, so like
Yeah. So it was gluten and dairy for like
what
years.
was your cheat then? Like what was your I don't know, like I don't know, peanut M&Ms or something? Like what would you get?
No, I just told you there was like a time where, well, like after that, I was like, I can't give up both because
Yeah.
it's really sad. It's a sad life to give up both gluten and dairy. So I just went back to gluten. I was like, I eat because dairy really got sick. Gluten gets me sick, but dairy
Yeah.
really got
But
like I was,
but
yeah.
what was the worst thing that you would eat like during the school day? Because Matt and I just listed all these horrible things, like the
I
fast
mean,
food, and
I don't know. I'm trying to think maybe
I
like
don't
a
really
Burger King
remember you.
Whopper,
Yeah,
a
man,
Burger King Whopper.
I don't remember you really pigging out.
No, like I like cookies, like Linda tarts, so I would go to Rudy's, maybe a brownie. She was making like gluten-free brownies and cookies at that time, so I would eat that crap. But Whoppers, I love Whoppers. Like
Yeah,
even
no.
now, oh my God, Whoppers are the best.
Burger King was definitely mine. I remember like Hanse said something like, like once he had it, it was like, if you have to go all the way when you go. He was, like meaning like I knew what he meant. He's like, yeah, if you're gonna go, you just have to get the whole thing. Can't just go. You're not gonna go to Burger King for a diet,
Well,
and
that
just
was the
get
thing. Like I would go to Burger King when I was gluten-free and it'd be like, I'd have a Whopper without a bun. Or I'd bring these really disgusting, because at that time
yeah,
gluten-free crap tasted disgusting. So I would bring gluten-free buns and then I would put the Whopper. It was so gross. It was so
I mean,
gross.
I understand. You wanted the Burger King experience, but
you know
And
who
yeah.
now, oh sorry, go ahead.
you know who annoyed me?
Who?
They were nice people, but the not the wife, the husband, the guy, the owners of the Subway. Remember Subway?
Oh, yeah, I do remember the Subway.
There was a couple who owned it, and
Yeah,
you would
That was
either
next
get
to Rudy's. Was that next to
it was
Rudy's?
over
it was
there.
across. Yeah, it was across.
You would either get
Oh yeah,
her
yeah, yeah. Okay,
or
in
you
that
get
corner.
him.
Okay,
And he
right.
was so cheap with the toppings. You know what I mean? Like you
Ah,
ask for olives, you put like four slices of olive on there.
Let
It's
me
like, you know what,
let
guy?
me
Just put some freaking olives on there?
let me ask you a question. When people say the word Subway, do you just automatically say eat fresh? Because every single time somebody says Subway, whether it's in reference to the actual Subway or the store Subway, I'm always saying eat fresh.
Yeah.
Do you
And
say that? Do you do
five
that?
dollar foot
all it
long.
eat. I mean, what do you mean you say eat
Five
fresh? Like
dollar
it's a
footlongs. Because their
you
slogan
just
is
say the
eat
slogan
Yeah.
or
fresh.
Eat
what?
fresh.
So
Right.
yeah,
So
eat
you
fresh.
just say it out loud because
Yeah,
you
so
hear
like
it?
if you say, "Oh, I'm going to take the subway to blah blah blah," I'd be like, "Eat
Eat
fresh."
No,
fresh.
I don't. I never. No,
Even even now, like you're talking about
no,
how you would sit in the corner and you would like eat all this crap. The thing that popped in my head was the scene from
no,
Tommy Boy where he's like, "I could just hear you getting fatter."
no. I was
Because
just wondering where the subway was. Yeah, so just figuring out where it is. Listening to the story, but yeah, no, you all have
I
different
think my
reactions.
maturity level is like that of a 12-year-old boy.
I just said as a teacher in my 40s, I'd have to bring brownies back and hide. I think I win. Lowest maturity level.
Oh, let's talk about when there would be like a potluck or
Oh,
when people would bring certain things. So I had a skill. My skill was I would make people believe that the thing that they made, the thing that they would cook or whatever was the best thing I had ever had. So people love to bring me stuff. So like
Thanks.
when
After I just explained the whole egg salad story, Rob, that's
yeah. No, yours was built in. I'm talking about people bringing in stuff they made at home and then like sharing it. Like or
yeah.
they would say, "Oh, I made a batch of this and I brought you some." Like that kind of thing. So
right.
like a prime example was Sandy and she would bring in her arugula, which man,
Yeah.
actually I don't know if you like that, but man, I loved her arugula, man. She would bring it in and I would get like a special batch sometimes.
I'm not a
And I
fan of
had
it. So I actually would take it and have a bite and then like sort of, I would say like, but I didn't want to, but it wasn't like, because I didn't like her arugula. I
Yeah.
just, I didn't like arugula.
Mhm.
and and I'm Jewish, so I don't know, but but I would just say
I
it's
never
like,
had it before her, so
yeah.
I Slagle, she made coconut brownies and regular brownies, and she would always bring me in special like little thing of them and give them to me because I loved her brownie so much.
she's one of
I
mine
got them too.
also.
Me too.
No,
Me
mine wasn't
too.
the brownies though. Mine was this
Or
like
just
rum cake thing that she made for Festivus. Oh my God, it
Um,
was incredible. She would
I
bring
got the
that in.
brownies.
Oh,
I got
you know
special
what you
brownies.
just popped in my head? Rob, I don't know if you remember this, but you made I remember this because it was so sweet.
the
We were at
ostrich egg deviled egg.
No,
Oh,
that
sorry.
was disgusting. And no, no. We were at Neil's um, Halloween party,
Yeah,
and you made a spinach dip,
that's my
and
specialty.
you used dairy-free ingredients.
Yeah,
And I was like, like you were like, oh, here, I made this with dairy-free so that you can eat it. And I remember like thinking, like, what a nice guy.
that's the spinach dip is like if I want to go to a place and impress people where people like want to become my friend because something I made tastes so good, it's the spinach dip. And
I
so
really appreciated that shake you made me, Rob, in the lab with the chocolate, and it had
Are
an
you making fun of
avocado in
me?
it.
Are you making fun? Oh,
no, he's
Uh,
allergic to
I'm
avocado.
allergic to avocado.
And I forgot. I was like, so I'm still trying to make these healthy
Why do I
shakes and
have this
brownies.
pain in my abdomen?
He's like, is there
It's
avocado
like,
in here?
I was like, what's what?
It's like, how
And
did you
I'm still
know?
drinking the shake. I'm still drinking it. And then I was like, I'm going through, like, what was in this anyway? You're kind of going through and he's like, doing this, that. Oh yeah, and I threw an avocado in. I was like, fuck.
yeah, what happens? Did you have to leave?
No,
No, it's not
no,
like that.
it's like, it feels like needles sticking in your abdomen for like 6 hours. Yeah.
Oh,
And then
I
it goes
mean,
away. Yeah.
that
No,
sounds
I mean, it was like,
great.
hey, boys and girls, let's sing some songs. Come on. You
Yeah.
okay, Mr. Jacob? Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine.
I'm trying to think. Oh, another one. Sometimes we would have potluck things. It was like on like professional development days,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to remember her name. Nicole's. Why can't I remember her name? Teresiano.
Oh, Teresiano Jones,
She
Marissa.
made some kind of breakfast thing. It was like a casserole. I think it was her. That was incredible also. But that was like for everyone. It wasn't for me. Like she just made that like,
She also made these like fudge balls that were fantastic too, or Oreo balls that she would bring in.
oh, I don't
Do you
remember
remember
that.
these?
No.
Yeah.
Balls, Oreo balls. No,
Angela was
sounds
like
really
the
good.
cake pop person.
Oh yeah, Angela made cake pops.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
we had a lot of talented. I brought nothing in. That was I'm trying to think like what was my contribution. Nothing.
You know who made a great tuna? Because
Yeah.
I would also arrange competitions. So just so that I could have stuff to eat, right? So I like did an egg salad competition, a tuna competition,
The Excel one.
and then
Yeah.
like everyone would bring it in, and then I made myself the judge, right? So then I have to eat everyone's stuff, right? So, but you know who made a great tuna? The principal who we all know, her husband.
Husband. Yeah.
Holy cow, he made a
Oh,
good tuna.
okay.
And then the deviled egg contest was the one where I tried to do it with an ostrich egg, and
Yeah.
that was absolutely disgusting.
And I made them and I thought mine were
Yours were good.
just like
Wait, Brugge's breaking up. She's frozen. Brugge's frozen.
you
She's
when
frozen.
you
Uh-oh. Brugge's
Uh-oh.
frozen. Can she hear us?
here that I don't like. Hello, hello.
Wait,
Can you
Yeah,
hear
I don't know
me?
what's
you were
going on.
Oh
just
Yeah, I can
no.
hear you now.
you just sounded
Oh, okay.
like a malfunctioning robot for about
Mm,
20
mm, mm,
seconds.
mm.
What were you
Yeah,
saying?
it kind of came
So
full circle from the spirit thing. But go ahead.
I was saying that we had a deviled egg contest and I made them. And I can remember Rob, you saying to me, these are really good, but you know what killed it? The celery. Because
Oh
I put
yeah.
celery in it
Yeah.
and you didn't like celery.
No,
So
I
now
hate
I know.
celery. I hate celery in my tuna and and deviled egg. Oh my God, I hate it. Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that funny that we like all of us, we've known each other forever, that we know everybody's like
It's food.
allergies
No, but I
and food
think,
sensitivities.
but I think that's a big part of, you know, our job was like what, just understanding just food in general, and our health during the day and,
Yeah.
people that are eating the wrong way, people eating the right way. But especially when you're friends, you kind of observe. So Rob knew right away what was everything I was doing wrong because he would, you eat together. You just spend so many years together. You just pick up on everyone's what they can eat, what they can't eat. And
Yeah.
um, I think that's a big part of today what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Anyone else have anything else that they did for, we didn't really talk about mental health, like during the school day, just like, an easy example would be like Matt and I, we would throw a movie. We had a projector and we would throw on like Rocky or a movie and just sit there and watch a movie. You know what I mean? Like if we, for like 30 minutes or something.
Actually, that's how Brugge and I became friends because I was watching Star Wars in the lab,
Mm.
Yeah.
and she was a huge Star Wars fan. So she would come over and just like watch it and be
Yep.
like,
Oh, it's fanboy. I've got a giant X-ray fighter sitting behind me.
Oh, I have some news.
what?
I was going through these, like I have a bunch of old like thumb drives and everything, like these little
Yeah.
things. And I was going
Uh-huh.
through and I found one that has all of the files for the original PBIS posters on it.
Oh, the original
The
ones.
yes, the
Ah,
original, the ones that were like, so I have all of the posters for PBIS on the thumb drive.
Oh,
So we
that's
cool.
can we can
awesome.
print them out and hang them up wherever we want.
That's cool. I think one was still remaining.
Yeah. Brugge said that she um
I
got it.
have one. It's
You
in
have it.
my, yeah, I
Yeah.
have it. Yeah, they were throwing them all out because they weren't doing it anymore. So
I know, but
I
it's
have
so
them.
funny that like even like years later, there was like you'd still find one in the
It's
building that nobody
shocking
took
that they were
down.
up there so long.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
because I remember walking the kids, this maybe like 10 years after,
Yeah.
and then somebody would look and be like, because I was like, with glasses and superhero costume, like, that's you, Mr. Jacobs. Like, you're a superhero. I was like, yeah, that's me. I was like, but nobody knew what it was at this point. Some random picture of three guys in superhero costumes. They didn't understand what was going on in the poster or anything. It meant nothing to them.
Yeah.
But there was still random posters around the school. Nobody took down. That'd be a good game. Find the
Mm.
old PBIS poster
Yeah,
still in the school.
I'm telling you, there's none left. I know that now because I went after we spoke about this like months ago. I remember walking around like looking for them, and there's nothing there.
I'm gonna
Nothing
print
that one.
out some eight and a
They
half
were
by
all gone.
11s and find someone still working at school and have them hide it somewhere, like behind the curtain up on the stage.
Just put
We
ones
always,
there.
yeah, we always have to have one somewhere in the school, you know?
Oh, it's funny. Yeah.
So, Broogie, what are you gonna bring for lunch when you go to your new school?
I don't know, man. I have no idea. I
I
don't even
mean,
know if I'm going to eat lunch.
making lunch every day. Oh my God.
Probably like turkey sandwiches.
DoorDash is hard. Well, maybe not for you. DoorDash would be hard because it's timing. You got to order it. You
Yeah.
got to, you know.
But yeah, there's like no option. So I'm just going to be, but then that's like what we were saying in the beginning of this was that once I make it, then I'm probably going to eat it before 10 o'clock and then I'm going to be starving by 12. So
Well, I think a lot's going to be based on your schedule. And you're going to see sort of like when, if there's people you're friends with there, so you probably might have lunch with them. Well,
guys, I can't
that's,
believe this starts in like 2 weeks. That's bananas.
I know. Good for you.
So crazy.
You must feel so different.
I feel good. I'm doing a presentation the second day of school. They've already asked me
Wait, do you have
on
a
section.
do you have a space?
I have so I'm in the basement.
But do you have a room or no?
Too.
Not really. They told me that I can see kids on the stage, or I can see kids in the stairwell, or
I'm only asking because like, are you gonna get yourself a cart or something, or you know?
I have a cart. Yeah,
Okay.
so I bought myself a cart, and I bought a desk because I wasn't sure. Like I have a rolly kind of like desk thing.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. So I already asked my friend who's a kindergarten teacher if her hallway was basically free. So
Mm-hmm.
I could just like sit in the hallway and set up shop there.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I'm going from a school that had a beautiful, I mean, it was a beautiful school. And the schools like they have a brand new wing, but there's just no space.
Space. Yeah. Yeah.
Because they have tons of kids.
That's basically my background several times through the years is like, it's like
Yeah, I'm gonna be like you,
finding,
Maddie.
yeah, finding a space. I was master of the cart for a long time.
I'm gonna be like the guy from Office Space. Office
Uh,
Space
uh, yeah,
stapler.
this my
Where's my
stapler.
stapler?
Here's my
My
stapler.
stapler.
Hmm. There's something fun about the cart, though. You sort of put everything on it. It's like your own.
Yeah,
It's like you're living in a van down by the river. So
I'm looking
SNL
forward to
reference.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think my mental health, like I can already feel better. Like
No,
about
it's going to
this
be
move.
great. It's not going to be.
Yeah.
It's not going to be. It's interesting when you said hallway. I automatically my first thought was where we used to work in the hallway. But now you're in a completely different space.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that that's a race. That was my first thought when you said it. Is that like you're going to be in that hallway, but no, it's like it's a completely different place,
So
completely different stairwell. All these
the
things are new for
building
you.
and the building that I used to work in was very simple, right? It was just four hallways stacked up on top of each other. This place has a lot of nooks and crannies. So
You're gonna figure it out. Yeah.
Nooks and
I'll
crannies.
figure it out.
Yeah, and
Nooks
that's a
and
big
crannies.
going along with health, that's a big part of just mental health sometimes, moving on. So good for you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Speaking of moving
Yes,
on, I
definitely.
think it's about time we say goodbye, and this has been a great one on our physical health and
Mm-hmm.
mental health as educators. Anything you guys want to add?
No?
No, this was a good one. I like this one.
Yeah, I think important one too, because especially young teachers starting out, if just listening to us old vets just to get advice on how we try our best anyway to keep healthy, and
Yeah.
when you fall off and just how to get back on, because nothing's more important than your health. Anyway, so for Brugge and Mr. Rob Monahan, I'm Matthew, and we'll talk to you guys on the next one. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Okay. See ya.